This year marks the 40th anniversary of our diplomatic relations with Brunei. And in that regard, what we intend to do really is to be able to strengthen the bilateral relations that have been existing for 40 years. And this is very, very important because we are going to be reviewing the past, what did we do right, what were our achievements, and then we will look forward to the future, how we can further enhance and strengthen and make our ties with Brunei more enduring, something that will hopefully last another lifetime. Since 40 years have passed, the relationship between the Philippines and Brunei has continued to be very rich and multifaceted. We have been very grateful to His Majesty for his compassion, I think, and his show of concern and his very strong friendship that he has always shown to the Philippines. He's always been there, I think, during times of disaster. They have been there in the time that we needed support for the peace process in Mindanao. So this is very important. In the meantime, the President has always taken, I think, a very proactive stance when it comes to addressing regional peace and security issues. Something, in fact, that is shared by Brunei Darussalam. Brunei and the Philippines both want to do things in a very peaceful way. No? But we're both committed as ASEAN Member States to a region that is peaceful, that is stable, so that we will be able to develop, we can create a prosperous region for our peoples. A substantial portion of the discussion will focus on cooperation activities that will relate to trying to promote diplomatic initiatives in the area of regional peace and security. Economic cooperation is also going to be a very substantial portion of the discussion. There are many similarities and complementarities between the Philippines and Brunei. We come at this point where Brunei is diversifying its economy, and the Philippines, meanwhile, is looking to its Philippine development agenda to be able to fulfill our goals under that. And we see that there are many areas that we can work together with. So areas such as agriculture. We are both concerned with food security. There is strong interest on both our parts to talk about tourism. We are also looking at trade and investment, particularly in the areas of energy, halal infrastructures. This is something that I think is important for us, from which we can learn from our Islamic neighbor. So we are currently looking at the signing of MOUs in the area of maritime cooperation, tourism cooperation, and agricultural cooperation. And we think these in themselves are already very rich hunting grounds. I think there's so much that can be done and that can be developed from these. I think the presence of the chief executive and his economic managers provides a really strong signal to Brunei Darussalam on our intention to be able to promote and deepen our economic relationship with them. It is, I think, very important to stress the fact that also there are so many opportunities that are currently available in the Philippines now for Brunei to look at and to invest in. So the business forum is really intended as an opportunity for both sides to be able to engage in a kind of conversation where they can talk about what are the complementarities that we have that are currently present in both our business environments. We can possibly even address what are the possible issues, highlight that we can look at so that we can focus on these areas, or possibly even how we can further promote certain economic policies. Economically, we have very strong macroeconomic fundamentals, so on and so forth. You know, the President has passed a lot of legislation that has made it possible for them to engage in business in a very easy way. So there are a lot of things that we can tell them, a lot of good news about the Philippine economic environment. You know, it's a rare opportunity to have the President over. They've in fact been waiting for him for some time. No, they're really excited. What we see here is a Filipino community that is very engaged with what is happening in the Philippines. And they want to show the president that they're here, that they're doing their part. And I think also they're excited to meet him. For them, it's a great source of pride, no? To be able to be together with the president, to engage with him. And it's an opportunity for the president to engage in a dialogue with our fellow kababayans as well, to find out their concerns, no, what their aspirations are. At the same time, I think he will be very eager to recognize their achievements. You know, the Filipino community has been in Brunei since it started, since they gained their independence. That's a really long time, 40 years. In fact, we hear a lot of stories where Filipinos talk about when they had arrived in Brunei even prior to independence. And even then, they had already contributed. So they were this country's first teachers, first nurses. You know, they were counted among those first architects, first engineers. You know, we really helped and contributed to the building of this nation. So it's really very exciting to have a community now who has this kind of perspective, who is aware of the contributions that they have made to nation building, not only here in Brunei, but also in the Philippines. There are currently about 22 or 23,000 Filipinos right now in Brunei Darussalam. And what's interesting about the profile is that it's a very diverse group. The visit of the president comes at a really significant time for Philippine-Brunei relations. So it becomes very special that we are anticipating his arrival on the year when we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Philippines-Brunei diplomatic relations. And we look forward to a visit we think that is going to be very rich, that is going to be able to further strengthen the ties that bind us, ties that are made stronger and deeper precisely because we engage with each other in many areas, whether it is in defense cooperation or economic cooperation or people-to-people exchanges. We see that a visit this year is going to be able to highlight not only the many achievements of the 40 years of relations with Brunei, but also to be able to turn a new chapter and to say, hey, we want to deepen this relationship. We think this is going really strong. And we want to be able to say that we recognize the importance of this relationship for the Philippines.